Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Sabbat Dinner Theater, Zuster City. Um, where we are now, we're in the middle of the woods right after the trial of Bitter, and the Inquisitor is just about ready to start giving his sermon of Cain, and you see Bitter standing next to a tree off to the side past the crowd of people. A few people still left behind to listen to the sermon. And Bitta is standing there staring at her ductus and who she considers a close friend of hers, just bickering and arguing over what appears to be herself. And she sees a keen opportunity to slink away without anybody noticing. She really just does not want to be around anybody right now. She's not a happy girl. So as she sees Kaylee and Jacob bickering and the Inquisitors start to speak, she slinks away. Sermon starts, and just as the Inquisitor gets through his first two or three lines, Bitta sees the moment, and she just kind of creeps behind the tree and starts to walk off, trying to make as little noise as she can.
Kaylee, in the meantime, she's not even lowering her voice as the Inquisitor starts, and she just glares at Jacob. She's like, well, you think if she wants to be fucking alone, that she'll have, like, peace and quiet in the fort that's, like, overrun with Canaanites and ghouls the entire time? Seriously.
Kaylee, what would you know about taking care of someone else besides yourself? While it might be to her inconvenience, guess what? She is not responsible alone for her own self. Not at this moment. Once you have
Just give her some fucking time.
some time, we don't have time. We just crossed one hurdle, and there's plenty more out there.
Bullshit, you have all the time of the world. You guys we guys fucking live forever.
As you could probably tell, that is only a matter of circumstance. Jacob points back to the pyre that's being taken down.
Sure, but you can just give her a few nights. At that point, Kaylee is noticing that the tree, that there is no one there anymore. That it is gone.
The sermon continues on for, we'll say, the sermon is a total of like 20 minutes long. So you'll notice maybe 7 or 8 minutes in, that's when you guys will look back for Bitta and she'll be gone.
Fine. And Kaylee's just gonna look up and she's like, oh, shit. And at this point, she's just falling silent for a little bit, and she's not quite sure whether she should say anything to Jacob or not, but she can't Jacob can just see a big grin just suddenly appearing on Kaylee's face.
What are you smiling about?
Well, looks like our argument is over. She looks back to the tree, and if Jacob would follow her gaze, he would notice that it is not there anymore.
Ah, for fuck's sakes, yet another child I have to take care of.
Well, she's not your child. I'm not a child either.
Child nonetheless, she's still young for a Canaanite.
That doesn't necessarily make you a child.
And what would you call yourself? Jacob begins to get up and just look around, seeing possibly what might look for a footprint in any direction, seeing that the seat is empty.
Myself?
Mm-hmm.
I'm, well, not a child. I'm just myself.
While the two of you have been talking and arguing, Bitta finds herself walking faster and faster through the brush of the forest. She can still see the lights behind her, and she could still hear the sound of the Inquisitor's voice giving his sermon. And every time she hears a word that she could make out from the Inquisitor's voice, she cringes a little and cowers and stops just so she could try to hear the rest of what he's saying, so she can almost have his words chasing her away. She'll wait to hear him again before she starts to walk, and she'll just walk faster and faster.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
Jacob looks back to the Inquisitor and looks back to the empty seat of Bitta. He's gonna stand up and fuck this. I've got a pack mate to take care of. Why don't you enjoy the show, kiddo?
Katie just stares at you for a moment and, what? First of all, why would I stay here any longer? Because you might have a packmate. I have a friend.
Friend, pack mate, they become synonymous when you share the same blood.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Oh, you would be an expert on friendships, I suppose. I suppose you understand everything that Bitta has been going through. Hmm? Have you been inside her head? I think not.
Well, neither have you, and I do not even pretend to understand that. That's why I want to make sure she's okay.
Oh, how would you know where I've been and what I've done?
Well, maybe if she should tell it for once, huh? And Kaylee's just gonna walk off to the tree where she saw Bitte standing.
While you guys are still doing your thing, Bitta's going to activate her auspex just so that she can hear her heightened senses, just so that she can hear um, everything that's going around her, and so she could see where she's going. And so it's going to be sight and sound that she's going to heighten. And she's just going to keep walking.
Jacob, just following whatever trail the Bitta might have left, some far spirit turned waves. These trails, but trying to be respectful enough for he's not going to.
Hmm. Kaylee also, Katie also starts following the trail that she found. Takes her a little bit longer, but she can basically just follow Jacob, and she does.
As you guys start to make your way through, Bitta will start to hear you guys walking towards her. She used her auspex. Thank you, Bram, very much for getting me the 6 successes for it. So I'm gonna hear you guys coming for me, and with that, she's gonna pick up her pace. She's gonna try and make her way out of the forest as quickly as she can, so she can find her bearings, so she can make her way to the Van Morrison Theater, which is where she feels most comfortable right now.
Kaylee's just gonna walk behind Jacob as she notices that he sees his trail better than she does.
I think I know where she might be going. With the Avalon gone, I know her other favorite spot.
I'm pretty sure it's not your precious fort.
Oh, that's just dripping with venom. Why? Do you have plans for my fort, Kaylee?
Why would I have plans for your fort?
Hmm. See him shrug. But even now, he's starting to pick up the pace just a little bit.
Katie just tries to keep up. Takes her more effort because she's short. So if Jacob wants, he could. If he started running, he would probably leave her behind easily.
Vita can hear the bickering from a mile away between the two of you from behind her, and she stops and she listens for a moment to hear the words that Kaylee and Jacob have to exchange to one another. And then she will turn and notice that she is but yards from breaking the forest line, and she decides that she's gonna run for it. She wants to get away as fast as she can. She does not feel like she's got anybody on her side right now. She wants to run away from the world, if only for a few days. She's gonna run out of the forest, and just she notices she's a bit of a distance away from where she essentially wants to end up. So she's just gonna keep going, and she's gonna almost let the voices and the noise of Kaylee and Jacob behind her just disappear as she goes as fast as she can. Um, yeah.
Um, could someone roll me 4 dice for perception alertness? I'm going to spend a willpower on this.
Sure thing, boss. I should be rolling for everyone today. 4 successes.
Apparently so. We're gonna make you roll for me as well. But
You can roll for yourself.
oh yeah, I get to roll my own dice, which sucks.
Yep. Meanwhile, back at the Sermon of Cain, it will by now sort of be over. Owen will just turn his head to where Kaylee and Jacob were, where Bitter was. I realize they have left. Interesting. He's just gonna walk to his car, get out his phone, send out a single text message, and get in.
Bitta will continue to run down the street.
Okay. Jacob is going to turn back to see Kaylee kind of falling behind. He's going to try to grab her wrist and activate his celerity and just carry her along running.
Whoa, you gotta do what now? Oh, for
Good
fuck's
shot.
sake.
You, and then just pull you along as he's going to run a little faster after Bitta.
Kaylee is surprised and she excuses. What? Sorry?
Jacob's saying, she's making a run for it. Come on, we gotta hurry up.
Why should we fucking hurry up? Just give her some room, seriously. If you know where she's going anyway, for fuck's sake.
If you guys are at all in eyesight of Bitta, you'll see her stop for a moment. She will look at something, and then she will change direction in which she was running and go somewhere else. Go instead of north, she'll go west.
You're saying if we can see her.
If you can see her, that's what you see.
Does Bitter have streetwise?
Yeah.
How about you make a deck streetwise to see if you can.
That's 4 dice.
Roll that for you, because you might be able to get to just hop into an alleyway somewhere without being seen. Oh, two successes there.
Okay. And with that, Bitta will know that there is a community parking driveway down the middle of a few blocks where you've got row of houses, and then a communal driveway down the whole middle of the block. And Bitta will see that because she knows the area, and she will run down that, trying to find a nice little hiding spot. She really is just trying to get away so she could find a place to be for it to be quiet so she could talk to herself and her newfound friend.
Katie just failed to counter roll, so yeah, no idea. But then again, she's pulled along by Jacob anyway, and she's not quite sure if she's happy with that. Let's see. Oh, she's not happy with that. She tries to pull loose.
All right. Well, when she pulled loose, Jacob's just going to let her go, and he's going to keep running. In his mind, Kaylee wants to run on her own. He's still running.
Katie probably needs to make a Dex Athletics check to keep to her feet. And lower diff by easily.
For Jacob, do you have Streetwise?
Yes.
Would you like to roll Perception Streetwise, perhaps?
Sure. That would be 5 points.
Alright. To see if you have an inkling where she might have disappeared into or off to. 2 successes. You have an inkling. You remember a communal parking lot of some sort? She might have gone in that general direction. You have no idea why, but...
Just a gut feeling. Okay. When Jacob comes, start screaming out, Bitta! Bitta, sister, where are you?
Every time she hears Jacob call for her, she gets lower and lower in the... She's found a shed in the backyard, and she's standing next to it, and she cringes a little, and she's looking around, trying to see if she could see some street signs, and she's feeling very vulnerable and very unlike herself. She's becoming very, very fidgety, and her brain is going at 1,000,000 miles a minute. And every time she hears Jacob, she just shudders over and over and over again, just every single time, just cowering, not worth it, not worth it. And she's just yelling and screaming inside of her own head at herself. And she stands up and just runs as fast as she can towards the front of the house. And she tries to make her way to the corner. Out of character real quick, would we happen to know any of the street names or anything like that, or are we just playing around in an area where we don't know?
I think we're just pulling shit out of her ass.
Okay, so she's going to go to the corner of Appleby and Dwayne, and she's going to stand there for a minute. Hopefully no one noticed her do that either.
Alright. Should I roll an alertness or an investigation to trail at least to the last spot she was in?
Go for it.
Alright. What would you say is better, streetwise or investigation? Or alertness?
Well, if you're actively seeking me, wouldn't it be investigation?
Good point. Perception, investigation, 6 dice.
Sorry, yep, let me roll that for you.
Thank you.
That will be 3 successes. Right, so as you're going through the communal parking lot or that sort of aisle or alleyway, you think you hear some footstep off to the west of here towards the street. And for those who are watching at home, that roll that I did before this was a Dex drive, as a car will be coming around the corner of what was it? Appleby and
Appleby and
Dwayne's.
Dwayne.
Yep. So there's a car coming around the corner of Appleby and Dwayne,
Um,
and uh, as he's driving, he's just gonna pop open one of the car doors.
Bitta will just jump in and close the door behind her.
Pedal to the metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me actually make a Dex drive to drive away as fast as I can. Only one success. Uh, maybe make a Dex Athletics or something to make it in time to see a car drive off
For who? Bruce?
for Jacob or for Kaylee if she is still
Well,
anywhere near.
Kaylee backed off, and it's just Jacob going right now. And
Oh
Jacob
yeah.
just now found the alleyway. So,
So let's see. I guess.
You can hear
I
like
don't know.
a car just you hear the tire screech and it slows down a bit. That's what you hear just before. So if you want, you can make a dash to try
Yeah,
and
I'll go for it.
see.
I'll go for it. Dex Athletics.
Yes, sir. How many dice would that be?
6.
All right, I couldn't hear you. Cheers, mate. Oh yeah, okay. So you'll be able to make it out the alleyway onto the corner. You can see Bitter get into a car. The car slamming shut. You'll be able to quite easily see the license plates. Uh, you might even recognize the car. It's a black Pontiac GTO.
Well, there's no use waving his hands because no one can see him in the fucking mirror.
No, that's actually true.
Uh, Jacob will just shrug and say, "Shit."
Alright, so Owen and Bitter driving off. Right. So where do you want to go, Bitter's baby?
Bitta sitting in the car. She's just gonna look down at her hands. She's not gonna move around much. She's not gonna seem like she's even really there at the moment. You will hear her mumbling to herself, and well, mumbling over her right shoulder a lot. And she will just, you don't have to take me far, just a few blocks, and then drop me off. I wanted a bit of a head start on them. I fear they were getting too close, and I don't think I'm in any mood to really be around people right now.
Right. Understandable. Understandable. And he'll drive a couple of blocks, maybe like 4 blocks away, just to be sure. Out of the out of his out of his pocket, he'll get his deck of cards and hand you the Queen of Hearts.
The car stopped at this point, right?
Yeah.
She'll look at the card in Owen's hand. She'll look up at Owen. She will do a little mumble over her right shoulder again. She will take the card and not say anything. She won't even look at you again. She'll just take the card, turn, open the door, and leave.
And Owen is just going to drive off. He's not going to stay there. He's not going to mince words.
And Bitta will go off into the distance, just knowing that, because she still has her heightened senses up, she knows that she's no longer being followed, that no one is anywhere near her, and she will just slowly take a very crooked path towards the Van Morrison Theater, where when she gets there, she will go into the burlesque house. She will go on top of the stage. She will get down onto her hands and knees and slowly start caressing the floor and start speaking these soft words to what appears to be inside of her head, Alex. And there will end the scene where Bitta's just sitting there talking to her newfound friend.